Around the world, we encounter individuals who will do anything to come out on top, using whatever means necessary to achieve success. And believe me, the world of sports is no different. Some competitors, whether due to a lack of talent or a blind obsession with winning, resort to dirty and illegal methods to secure the top spot on the podium. They are capable of cheating the system, exploiting loopholes in the rules, and even using advanced technology to gain an unfair advantage. Imagine this: someone using their own twin sister to compete in their place, or hiding ultra-modern devices to manipulate the outcome of a competition. These are just a few examples of what some athletes will do to achieve glory at any cost. So in today's video, we're going to dive deep into 8 unbelievable stories of athletes who were caught cheating in the most blatant ways. Each of these cases is a reminder that in the end, the truth always comes out, and the consequences can be devastating. But before we start this journey through the most shocking sports scandals, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already joined our community. And don't forget to give a thumbs up to help this video reach more people who, like you, love intriguing content about the world of sports. Now, enough of the preamble, let's get straight to the point. 1. Tonya Harding. Let's start with Tonya Harding, a figure skater whose name is forever linked to one of the biggest scandals in sports history. It was 1994 and the stage could not have been bigger, the Winter Olympics. Tonya Harding was a talented athlete, known for her determination and skill. But off the ice, something much darker was unfolding. Her greatest rival, Nancy Kerrigan, was preparing to compete when something unimaginable happened. A mysterious man, armed with an iron bar, attacked Nancy, brutally hitting her knee. The scene was captured on camera and immediately made headlines worldwide. At first glance, it seemed like an isolated act of violence, but as the investigation deepened, a Machiavellian plan began to unfold. The man who attacked Nancy didn't act alone. He was actually hired by Tonya's ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, and the figure skater's former bodyguard, Sean Eckhart. And as for Tonya, she denied any involvement in the attack, claiming she knew nothing about it. But evidence began to pile up, and doubt about her participation took hold of the public and officials. Although Tonya was never criminally convicted for the attack, her career suffered a devastating blow. The skater's reputation was tainted by this dark scandal, and she was banned from the world of figure skating forever. 2. Tom Williams. Now let's leave the ice behind and enter the intense, contact-filled world of rugby. In 2009, an unexpected incident tainted the integrity of this sport that values both strength and honesty. At the center of this controversy was Tom Williams, a rugby player who, along with his team, decided to exploit a rule in a decidedly unsportsmanlike manner. The team faced a massive challenge. One of their best players, Nick Evans, had been injured and left the field, leaving the team in a precarious position. But the team was not willing to accept defeat so easily. Coach Dean Richards, determined to turn the game around, devised a plan involving Tom Williams in one of the most audacious deceptions ever seen in rugby. Tom was instructed to use a fake blood capsule. During the game, he bit the capsule, simulating a serious mouth injury. The field erupted, and the substitution was quickly authorized, allowing Nick Evans to return to the game, a move that completely changed the dynamics of the match. But what seemed like a brilliant play began to unravel when Tom, as he left the field, was seen winking at the bench, a gesture that immediately raised suspicions. The referees soon realized that something was amiss. A swift investigation revealed the ruse, and the consequences were severe. Tom Williams was suspended for 12 months, a penalty that was later reduced to 4 months after an appeal. But the damage to his reputation was already done. The fraud also came at a high cost for the team. Coach Dean Richards was suspended for 3 years. The team's physiotherapist received a 2-year suspension, and the team was fined a staggering 260,000 euros, equivalent to over 1 million Brazilian reais. 3. Madeleine de Jesus. Now let's go back to the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, where one of the most audacious and ingenious sports deceptions almost succeeded but was uncovered at the last moment. At the center of this story are 2 sisters who used their resemblance to try to game the system. Madeleine de Jesus, a talented Puerto Rican athlete, was determined to shine at the Olympics, but an unexpected setback put her plans at risk. During a long jump event, Madeleine suffered an injury that prevented her from competing in the 4x400 meters relay, where her team had high hopes. But where many would see an inevitable defeat, Madeleine saw an opportunity. She had an identical twin sister, Margaret, who was also a sprinter. And so the plan was born. Margaret would take Madeline's place in the relay race, running in her stead. The resemblance between the two was so striking that no one in the stadium could suspect anything was amiss. The strategy seemed perfect. Margaret ran skillfully, helping the team qualify for the final, and everything was going according to plan. The sisters nearly escaped from this daring fraud, but one nearly imperceptible detail would change everything. A Puerto Rican journalist who was familiar with the sisters from previous coverage noticed something odd. Although the twins were identical, there was a small mark on Margaret's cheek that Madeline did not have. It was enough to raise suspicions and eventually lead to the discovery of the deception. When the truth came to light, the consequences were inevitable. Both sisters were banned from future competitions, and the team's coach, Francisco Colon Aller, who had been involved in the scheme from the start, was also severely penalized. In an attempt to escape blame, the coach pretended to know nothing, but he was soon exposed and banned from the sport forever. 4. Boris Onyshchenko. Cheating in sports can take many forms, and none was as ingenious and at the same time as scandalous as the one executed by Boris Onyshchenko, the Soviet fencer who went down in Olympic history not for his victories, but for his audacious cheating. In 1976, at the Montreal Olympics, Boris was considered one of the favorites in fencing. His experience and technique placed him among the best in the world, but Boris had an extra trick up his sleeve, one that no one could have predicted. In fencing, points are recorded when the tip of the sword touches the opponent, triggering an electronic device. Boris, however, decided to modify his sword in a way that would completely change the game. He installed a secret button in the grip of his sword that, when pressed, made the point register a touch, even if he had not actually hit his opponent. Boris's opponents were bewildered as they lost points without even being touched. The trick seemed perfect, and for a moment, Boris was on his way to winning a medal. But as in every good cheating story, the truth soon came to light. One of his opponents, suspicious of the unexplained points, brought the matter to the judges. After a detailed inspection of the sword, the trick was discovered, and Boris was immediately disqualified and expelled from the Olympic Games. What should have been a moment of glory for Boris Onyshchenko turned into his downfall. He was banned from the sport forever, and his reputation was destroyed. 5. Dayron Robles. The world of athletics is fast, competitive, and often unpredictable. But in 2011, during the World Athletics Championships, Cuban sprinter Dayron Robles was at the center of one of the most controversial incidents in recent sports history. Dayron Robles was the undisputed favorite in the 110 meters hurdles race. Having won gold at the Beijing Olympics in 2008, expectations for him were extremely high. But during the race, something unexpected happened. The cameras captured a shocking moment. Robles was seen grabbing the hand of his main rival, Chinese athlete Liu Xiang, at one of the hurdles. And it didn't stop there. At another point, Robles touched Liu again, which clearly disrupted his competitor's race. As Robles crossed the finish line, he believed he had secured another victory for his resume, but the cameras told a different story. Liu Xiang's team immediately lodged a complaint, and the judges carefully reviewed the footage. In light of the undeniable evidence, the judges decided to disqualify Dayron Robles, stripping him of the title that seemed certain. Liu Xiang's second place was elevated to first, and Robles left the track without the medal he had anticipated. Robles, who was one of the world's top sprinters, saw his reputation tarnished by a moment of recklessness. 6. Marion Jones. A name that was once synonymous with victory, triumph, and glory. Considered one of the greatest athletes in the world, Jones won 3 gold medals and 2 bronze medals at the Sydney Olympics in 2000. But behind these victories was a dark secret that would forever change her career and her life. Shortly after the Sydney Olympics, suspicions arose about Marion Jones's use of illicit substances. In 2003, during a federal investigation, she was interrogated but vehemently denied any involvement with doping. Marion maintained her innocence, claiming she had never used banned substances. However, the truth could not be hidden forever. In October 2007, Marion finally admitted to having lied in her 2003 statement. She confessed that she had used synthetic steroids provided by her former coach, disguised as natural supplements. This confession shocked the sports world. The fall of a champion was inevitable and devastating. Marion Jones was sentenced to 6 months in prison for perjury, lost all of her Olympic medals, and was banned from athletics for life. The medals that once symbolized Jones's glory were retrieved and redistributed to other athletes. 7. Femke van den Driessche. Femke van den Driessche, a promising young cyclist, saw her career come to a screeching halt due to a scandal that shocked the sports world: the use of mechanical doping. In January 2016, during the Cyclocross World Championship in Belgium, Femke was caught using a small motor hidden in her bike. a trick that seems straight out of a science fiction movie. The motor, meticulously installed to avoid detection, allowed Femke to pedal with much less effort, giving her an unfair advantage over her competitors. When the discovery was made, Femke tried to defend herself by claiming that the bike was not hers but belonged to a friend. However, the bike was found among her own equipment at the championship, which eliminated any doubts about her guilt. The scandal not only tarnished Femke's reputation, but also raised serious questions about the use of technology in sports. As a result of her actions, Femke van den Driessche was suspended for 6 years from all cycling competitions, and all her titles were stripped. She entered the history books as the first athlete to be convicted of mechanical doping, a negative milestone that is unlikely to be forgotten. 8. Tonya Hansen. Finally, let's talk about André Hansen, the Norwegian equestrian whose pursuit of Olympic glory resulted in one of the biggest scandals in show jumping. During the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing, Hansen and his team were shining in the show jumping event. What seemed to be a triumph turned into a nightmare. After an intense competition, Hansen and his team secured the bronze medal. However, the celebration was short-lived. A few days later, a doping test conducted on Hansen's horse revealed the presence of a banned substance, capsaicin. This substance is a painkiller that can increase the horse's sensitivity and improve its performance, helping it jump higher and avoid obstacles more easily. The use of capsaicin was deemed a form of cheating, and the discovery led to a thorough investigation. The result was the immediate disqualification of the Norwegian team, and the bronze medal was stripped from André Hansen. The International Equestrian Federation not only revoked the medal, but also suspended Hansen, who became an example of how cheating can tarnish an athlete's reputation and career. This case once again demonstrates that in the world of sports, integrity is crucial. Even the smallest infractions can have devastating consequences, and cheating, no matter how well disguised, is eventually uncovered. So folks, what have we learned today? Cheating never pays off. The path of honesty and integrity is always the best one. I hope you enjoyed the video, made with a lot of care and dedication for you. Leave your comments about what you think and share your opinions on these sports scandals. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't waste any time. Click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. And of course, don't forget to give a thumbs up if you liked the video. Your support is crucial for us to keep bringing more interesting content to you. See you in the next video, everyone.